Have you ever noticed how society reacts to discipline? The stricter your routine, the quieter your confidence, the more uncomfortable people become. It's not jealousy, it's fear. Fear of what you represent, a mirror, a reflection of the compromises they've made. Epictetus, the enslaved philosopher who taught emperors, faced this too. His words cut through excuses like a sword. No man is free who is not master of himself. And that's why disciplined people terrify modern society, not because they're judgmental, but because their mere existence exposes how little most are willing to sacrifice for true freedom. Today, we dissect why self-control triggers insecurity, how to handle the backlash, and why, as Epictetus warned, the path of discipline is always lonely at first. Act 1. The psychology of intimidation. Discipline disrupts the collective illusion. Most people want to believe success comes from luck or talent, not daily choices. A 2023 study in the Journal of Social Psychology found that merely observing disciplined individuals triggers cognitive dissonance. The brain's panic when reality clashes with comfortable lies. Epictetus knew this. When you adopt the standards others follow, you surrender your power. Modern society worships hustle culture but hates true discipline. Why? Because hustle is performative. Posting rise and grind quotes is easy. But waking up at 5 a.m. to meditate, train, and plan your day? That's a silent rebellion. Psychologists call this the accountability avoidance effect. People resent those who remind them accountability exists. Think of how workplaces mock the employee who leaves on time to read, or how friends tease the sober one at parties. It's not about you, it's their shame echoing. David Goggins said, "They call you obsessed because they don't want to admit they're lazy." Act 2. The Stoic defense. Epictetus, the philosopher born into slavery, faced attacks far worse than social exclusion. His response? Radical ownership. When insulted, he'd reply, "If he knew my other flaws, he'd have listed those too." This wasn't false humility, it was psychological jujitsu. By agreeing with critics, he robbed their words of power. Modern studies confirm this. When you preemptively acknowledge imperfections, a tactic called defensive pessimism, insults lose 70% of their emotional impact. Journal of Experimental Psychology, 2022. Disciplined people intimidate because they refuse to play society's validation game. While others post progress pics for likes, Stoics track progress in private journals. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The applause of the crowd means nothing. What matters is the verdict of your own conscience." The 3 tactics of Stoic invincibility. Tactic 1. The reverse mirror. When colleagues mock your early mornings or friends ridicule your frugality, reply, "I admire how comfortable you are with your choices too." This does 3 things. Disarms aggression. They expect defensiveness, not agreement. Exposes projection. Their mockery reveals their own insecurities. Maintains boundaries. You acknowledge them without conceding ground. Example. When Warren Buffett was criticized for living in the same house for 60 years, he smiled. "I'm happy. Shouldn't that be enough?" Tactic 2. Premeditated resistance. Seneca prepared for backlash like a general prepares for war. They will call you boring, extreme, or no fun. Write these accusations in advance, and they become laughable. Neuroscience proves this works. When you pre-visualize criticism, a technique called stress inoculation, your brain processes it as familiar, reducing anxiety by up to 40%. Harvard Medical School, 2021. Exercise. List the 3 most common insults you hear. Workaholic, weird, rigid. Next to each, write Epictetus's mantra. This is the price of my freedom. Tactic 3. The silent example. Epictetus warned, don't explain your philosophy, live it until your actions drown out the noise. Case study, J.K. Rowling wrote, Harry Potter on welfare checks, enduring whispers of delusional single mom. Her response, she kept writing, discipline speaks louder than debates. Modern research shows that consistency triggers behavioral contagion. People unconsciously mimic those with unshakable routines. Nature Human Behavior 2023. Your silence isn't passive, it's a gravitational force. The firewall of amathia. The Greeks called it amathia, the deliberate avoidance of self-awareness. Most people fear discipline because it forces them to confront their excuses. As Nietzsche, a Stoic at heart, wrote, men will confess to murder before admitting to laziness. Stoics bypass this by focusing on what's mine versus what's not. Your discipline is yours, others' reactions are not. Visualize their doubt as weather. You wouldn't argue with rain for falling, so why argue with ignorance? Final exercise. For 1 week, track every time someone questions your habits. Instead of responding, write it down and add, this is their resistance, not my reality. Act 3. Embracing the loneliness. Let me tell you about the most misunderstood phase of discipline, the wilderness years. That period where every no to distraction feels like a yes to alienation. Where your routines mark you as an outsider in a world addicted to instant gratification. The science of strategic isolation. A 2021 MIT study tracked 500 breakthrough innovators. They found one common thread: 34 months of near-total social withdrawal during their creative peak. Not because they were antisocial, but because genius requires what psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called the agony of the solitary mind. Epictetus experienced this firsthand. Born a slave, exiled by Emperor Domitian, he built his philosophy school in a place nobody wanted, a metaphor for how truth often grows in life's barren patches. His words cut deeper because of that isolation. Solitude is the price of clarity. Modern case study, J. Robert Oppenheimer banned from his own research conferences during his security hearings. Simone Biles training alone after withdrawing from Olympic team events. How many of you have eaten lunch alone to finish a project? Gotten up before dawn while your partner slept? That's not loneliness, that's the forge of mastery. The alchemy of loneliness. Here's what nobody tells you. That ache in your chest when you're the only one not at the party, that's not emptiness. It's the compression chamber of transformation. Neuroscience shows solitary practice physically rewires your brain. Basal ganglia thickens, habit automation. Default mode network activates, breakthrough insights. Mirror neurons quiet, less susceptibility to groupthink. The people mocking your meal preps. They'll call you lucky when you're fit at 50. The coworkers who eye-rolled your certifications. They'll ask for referrals when you get promoted. This isn't speculation, it's the iron law of social dynamics. Epictetus's razor. Ask yourself, would I rather have 100 acquaintances who tolerate mediocrity or 3 true companions who challenge me to grow? The Phoenix Paradox. History's pattern is undeniable. Van Gogh sold 1 painting in his lifetime. Tesla died penniless in a hotel room. Stoicism was banned in Rome before becoming its ruling philosophy. Your discipline terrifies people because it proves their excuses or choices. That's why the backlash always comes right before your breakthrough, like tremors before an earthquake. Think of one time you were ridiculed for discipline. Now imagine your future self shaking your hand and saying thank you for not folding. That's the Stoic secret. Your present loneliness is future you's competitive advantage. Oi. So to the warriors watching, the ones lifting weights while the world sleeps, the entrepreneurs studying spreadsheets at weddings, the artists choosing craft over clout, that hollow feeling in your chest, it's not emptiness. It's the echo chamber of your future self. Epictetus' final lesson. No great thing is created suddenly any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Your discipline isn't rejecting the world, it's preparing to remake it. Drop if you've ever been called too intense. And remember, trees grow tallest when others stop shading them.